104 reasons to believe in the geocentric model, 11 through 20. 11. Gravity failed as a theory, it even failed as a hypothesis. It was rejected by its architecture Sir Isaac Newton in 1666, and yet it's considered one of the four fundamental forces in nature along with electromagnetism and the weak and strong nuclear forces. Gravity is merely a law of authority, it's based on social proof only. It's not a law of physics. It's an incantation, a lie. It's dark magic called science, and we have all been under this spell for a very long time. What kind of law says that if we can get high enough then we never have to come back down? If gravity can bend even light, then how is it that helium and hydrogen, the two most abundant elements in the universe, completely defies gravity's effect? It has been over 400 years and not as much as a single graviton has been isolated. Gravity fails as a theory, but it's accepted as a basic fundamental law of nature. Think about that for a moment. Gravity is the lost of divinity and moral relativity is a portal for perversion. No true up or down. No true right way or wrong way. No true right or wrong. And then the next thing you know, your kids have to share public bathrooms with adults who don't even know their own gender. 12. Thunder has an echo. Even out in the middle of the ocean, where there are no mountains for sound to bounce off of, thunder still has an echo. This must mean that the sound of thunder is bouncing off of the firmament. I know that sound can't be bouncing off of clouds. Clouds would only absorb sound. 13. In 1901, Guglielmo Marconi sent a line-of-sight radio signal 2,100 miles across the Atlantic Ocean. That's 367,500 feet of missing curve. We can receive or transmit a radio signal halfway around the world or even to the moon, but never all the way around the world. So, what's up with that? We can transmit a radio signal halfway across the world and far beyond for that matter. This is because the Earth is flat. But we can never transmit a signal all the way around the world because the Earth is not round, it's flat. You cannot have radio waves bouncing off of the sporadic ions of the ionosphere and then expect to receive them coherently. If the Earth was a ball, then we couldn't transmit a signal very far at all. 14. If you've ever watched the 1959 X-15 test flights, you'll see in the background, as seen from 250,000 feet or 54 miles high, that the horizon is always flat, and that probably as high as we will ever go. Just about everything after the X-15 has been a lie. Nothing can go past the firmament, or as science is now calling it, the Van Allen belt. 15. There are no filters or lens that will distort a curved line into a straight line, not the way a wide-angle lens will take a straight line and curve it. Therefore, you can show me a million round Earth horizons and just one flat Earth horizon, and I'm going to go with the one that can't be altered. 16. If we are exploding 500,000 miles an hour through space, or even 1 mile an hour, in an ever-expanding universe, then the stars should have changed their relative positions in the 6,000 years that we've navigated using fixed star location. But they haven't. Stellar drift is a misnomer. Polaris is still the North Star. All the zodiacs still look like what they were named after some 6,000 years ago. The Great Pyramids of Giza are still perfectly aligned with Orion, and Orion having 12 independent stars should not still be looking like an archer. And Halley's Comet knows where to find Earth every 75 years in an ever-expanding, chaotic universe. There are over 200 stars in the constellations alone, and if they haven't moved in over 6,000 years, then they never will. It's practically written in the stars that the Earth is stable and cannot be moved. 1 Chronicles 16:30. 17. If the Earth was spinning easterly, as they say it is, and that the atmosphere was spinning with the Earth's rotation, as they say it is, then when we walk against the Earth's rotation, then we would be walking against the atmosphere, and we would feel it. But that's not what we feel. Just walking in different directions would induce different experiences. But that's not what we feel, and if the atmosphere isn't in sync with the Earth's rotation, then we stood still would constantly feel the atmosphere blowing by us at 1,000 miles an hour. But that's not what we feel. The only way that this scenario works out logically is if the Earth is at rest. And this is what we feel. The logic is relentless. 18. Flat Earth debunkers have been caught cheating, trying to convince others rather or not there's a 24-hour sun at the South Pole. This is how it went. While video conferencing from what was supposed to be Antarctica, the coldest place on Earth, a flat Earth advocate noticed a lack of visible breath and a lack of gloves being worn. When asked about the lack of visible breath, the answer was, "It's too dry to see breath." But then a moment later, in an act of pure stupidity or desperation, someone walked up to the camera and let out a big plume of vapor, but then could not repeat it while on camera. He of course was vaping. 19. If you record the sun setting and then play it back in fast motion, you will see that it is actually sweeping towards the north and it is descending only in appearance. 20. If the oceans and lakes wasn't flat, then there could be no straight stream of sun or moonlight reflecting from the apparent horizon all the way up to the observer. If the oceans and lakes were bowed or curved, anything other than flat, then the sun's reflection would be nothing more than a spot.